Oh gosh, first paying job in the theater, I was, I think 11 years old. There was a theater here in the area called Village Dinner Theater. It was torn down when they were expanding the airport because it was out there near Angus Barn. Mm-hmm. And in fact, I was just driving out there yesterday with my mom and said, this is where Village Dinner Theater was. And anyway, that was my first paying job. I was one of the Von Trapp children in The Sound of Music, and it was in the round. They served a big buffet, and then things went up, and you performed at the center, and it always smelled like food.
There was one in Nashville, and I was only hired there once. A friend of mine was in the show there, Arsenic and Old Lace, and he asked me to stand in for Dr. Einstein. I was like 19 years old, but he had to go for an audition in Atlanta, and so he asked me to spend a week doing it. And I remember those sets that would drop down.
Yes,
they're all the same.
They're all the same. Yeah, it's kind of like a stock dinner theater format.
A template,
Yeah.
Well, Jerry, you probably already know this, but my first paid job in the theater was with Burning Coal in 1999. I was the props master for the history of King Henry IV, parts 1 and 2.
Oh my gosh.
And that was my first paid gig.
I did not remember that. I remember you worked on the show, but I didn't realize that it was your very first paid gig.
Yeah, I didn't even know how to get a paycheck yet. Like, I thought that the money you gave me was, like, I didn't understand that I had to submit receipts for the props. And, like, I was like, did you pay me? And you're like, yeah, I paid you, but did you not spend any money on the props? I'm like, oh, no, I spent money on the props. And you're like, no, you got to turn in those receipts. But yeah, like...
Well, sometimes we use a brown paper bag, too. But yeah, we do need receipts typically with the IRS. No, we don't use the brown paper bag method. But that's cool. That's really great.
And in fact, one of the props from that show was a chamber pot from the Cheshire Cat antique place in now the Village District, and it managed to stay living in my parents' house. And I noticed just the other day that my mom has put a faux floral arrangement in it and put it up on a shelf in her kitchen.
It's still alive, and the plants are probably growing very well.
First job here in Raleigh. I was the first theater arts consultant for the Department of Public Instruction. My job was to go into schools around the state and try to encourage formations of drama departments, tell them about dinner theater in their cafeterias, just to get them started.
Give them ideas on how to get started, grease the skids.
Yes, exactly.
And that was the state. Effort.
Yes, it was.
Very good. I know Fred Corlett, who worked with you and worked with us some over the years, was one of the first touring artists from the state. So the Arts Council really has a lot to answer for.
They do. God bless them. They made North Carolina, or helped North Carolina become the first in a lot of areas.
Yeah.
And we're fortunate to have a council like them.
Still going strong.
My first real theater job was down in Galveston, Texas for I was doing a play down there at an amphitheater called, the play was called The Lone Star, about Texas history and the Battle of the Alamo and Battle of San Jacinto and all that. So the funny thing about that is that when I went down to Galveston, I was very excited to be hired. I was probably 19 years old, out of my first year in college, and having my first acting job out of SETC and all of that. I went down there, and I got down there, and the director said, okay, so who are you? There are 80 people in the company. And I said, I'm Joey Stipp. I'm playing David G. Burnett, the president of Texas. And he went, fine. You're not the actor I thought I'd hired. Oh, gosh. Well, grow a beard and we'll see if we can make it work or whatever. So that was my auspicious beginning. But they also did Annie Get Your Gun in Rep down there. And
you said, I'm playing Annie. And he said, you're not the actor.
Yeah, you're not the Annie I thought. But the costumer was hired to play the role of Pawnee Bill, which is the rival of Buffalo Bill in that show. And the costumer was like, I gotta put 80 costumes times 10 on all the different roles these people are playing. I don't have time to play. Just give that role to somebody else. So they had some understudy auditions for that. And lo and behold, I got the role of Pawnee Bill. And then they also gave me the understudy of Buffalo Bill. And about a month into this job, the director who had said that to me first said, Jerry, I've been in theater for a long time, and I have to say you're the best mistake I ever made. So that's my reputation. I'm the best mistake in theater you can make.
That is fantastic. That's a great story.
Professional job?
Oh,
Where I got paid?
Where they got paid, yeah.
That would have been in New York. Yeah, after college. I did Olivia in 12th Night, this little ragtag theater company downtown.
Very nice.
I was 5 years old as the mayor of the Munchkin of the Wizard of Oz.
You got money at 5?
Oh, yeah.
Dang.
You probably still got it.
I wish. Don't I wish?
My first job in the theater was, I was still in college, and I went down to the Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri. I went to school in St. Louis at Webster University and did 5-show, literally real summer stock. So I think I was a sophomore in college.
You had done acting before that, you just hadn't been paid for it, is that
Right.
right? Okay, so
Right. My first real acting job was I played a tap dancing Martha Washington in the 5th grade.
very interesting.
In the musical Let George Do It.
Okay.
So-
was that a prefabricated thing, or did you?
I know it was a real show that we did in the school gym. Yeah, that was when I got bit by the bug, I think.
Well, my fifth grade was me too. It was my first too, but I actually wrote the play. They had a playwriting contest, and I figured out that if you wrote a play about the teacher who was picking the winner, receiving an award for Teacher of the Year, that she would pick that play. And so I wrote that play, and sure enough, she did it. And things have never been the same since. But,
Well, you have obviously always made good choices.
knock on wood.